to speak about. And within 3 minutes, half the girls were crying. And this one girl in the middle of the room started weeping. And she couldn't stop crying. She put up her hand. She said, "Nick, I'm so sorry. Can I come up there and give you a hug?" And in front of everybody, she came and she hugged me. And she cried on my shoulder. And she said, "Nick, thank you, thank you, thank you. No one's ever told me that they love me. No one's ever told me that I'm beautiful the way that I am." And I was shocked. I grew up in a home where my mom and dad told me that they loved me nearly every day. And I thought the world needs to hear this message. And so then on, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be a speaker. I'm going to be a speaker. I'm going to be a speaker. You know, your parents want you to be an accountant. Your parents want you to be a teacher. Your parents want you to do this and that. My parents did not want me to become a speaker. I came home that day and I said, "Mom and Dad, I know what I want to be for the rest of my life." And my dad's like, "Good, finish school first." So finish school, right? And so my mom's in the kitchen and she's doing the dishes and my dad's standing and I'm standing on the floor and I'm looking up and I said, "I want to be a speaker." I'm 19 and I'm halfway through my degree in accounting and financial planning. So my mom's doing the dishes, she's looking down at me. She says, "So, you want to be a speaker, huh?" She stops cleaning the dishes. She looks at me. She says, "So, what are you going to speak about?" I don't know. Ne znam in srpski, ali slovensko. Ne znam, isto. Okay.
Ne vem.
Hvala. So she goes, "So what are you going to speak about?" Ne vem. She says, "Who's going to want to hear you speak?" Ne vem. I mean, are they going to pay for you? Ne vem. Are you going to go alone? Yeah. Who's going to go with you? Ne vem. Can you imagine me calling 53 schools? You know how the first call went? I was really nervous. I didn't know anything about marketing. That's an obstacle. But I changed it into an opportunity to learn about marketing. You know how I did it? I didn't buy textbooks. I didn't, speak to a consultant. I tried. And I kept on trying. My first phone call went like this. "Hello?" And I didn't know what to say. And I'm like, "Hi, my name is Nick, and I am a speaker. I was wondering if I could come and speak at your school." "No, thank you." And she hung up on me. Now, was that a failure? Yes. Thomas Edison, he said, "I didn't fail 9,999 times. Now I know 9,999 ways in how not to make a light bulb." Does that make sense? So every failure is education. I want you to know that you may have a goal, you may have a dream, but if you don't fulfill it, don't give up in life. A 17-year-old kid came up to me and he says, "Nick, you're wrong." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Nick, you said that everything's possible." I said, "I did say that." He said, "Well, you're wrong." I said, "Why?" He said, "I have a disease in my body that makes me grow really, really tall. And ever since I was 3 years old, I wanted to be a pilot. I'm going to be too tall to be a pilot. And he's crying and he's crying and he's crying, and I was speaking at his school, and I said, you know what, if you have to let that dream go, if it's not meant to be, maybe something else is coming. And 17 years old, he goes, whatever, and walks away. I go back to his school 12 months later, and he's crying, and I'm like, oh my goodness, he's still crying. But he comes up to me, and he says, Nick, thank you, thank you, thank you. I said, why? He said, last time you came here, you said for me to not give up. You told me that I don't know what's around the corner. I said, what happened? He said, I went home, and 3 weeks later, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to pick up my guitar. And I picked up my guitar, and I fell in love with my guitar, and I started a band, and every Friday we drive my mother crazy. And now I've got a band, and we're going to record an album, and Nick, I've never been happier in my life. Now that's just one story. What if you don't become a teacher? What if you do not become a teacher? Is your value less? No. There is not another you out there. Yes, do your best and keep on trying. And if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. Keep on dreaming big. If you want to see more love in the world, be love. You want to see more integrity in the world? Be integrity. You want to see more positivity in your culture? Be the positivity. You want to see more encouragement? Be the encouragement. When you don't have a friend, you can be a friend. I don't have arms and legs, but I have love, and I have joy, and I have peace, and I know that I'm okay the way that I am. You don't want to know the grades I got at school. I failed accounting in high school, but I became an accountant. What's with that? I did better at university. I tried, yeah. I didn't get A's and B's. You know what? If my speaking career ends, it ends. I don't think it ever will. But it wasn't meant to be for me to become an accountant or a financial planner. So go with the flow. Be what you want to be. Be happy with who you are. I want you to know that money, drugs, sex, alcohol, pornography, fame, fortune, all that stuff is temporary highs. If you put your happiness in temporary things, your happiness will be temporary. You think it's cool to tease people? Let me get your 3-year-old kid. Let me get your 3-year-old kid. Let me tease him for 20 minutes. And let me make him cry. How would you feel? Oh, but I'm just being cool, man. Oh, but Nick, you know, we're not teasing 3-year-olds. Doesn't matter. You have no idea the people you're teasing what kind of life they have at home. You have no idea how many people have been teased that day, and all they needed was one more person like you to come and push them off the edge. Are you going to save people, or are you going to discourage people? Are you going to make a difference in the world? Are you going to go the way that you know will give you happiness and peace and love and joy? Or are you just going to try and do the status quo? You've got to understand, in life, the choice is yours. I want to inspire you to be all that you can be. And if you fail, keep on trying. If it's meant to be, it's going to happen. You want to know why the 53rd school said yes? Can you imagine 52? No, 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 no thank you, no thank you. You know, some schools actually didn't believe that I had no arms or legs. I said, hi, I'm a speaker, I have no arms, no legs. I don't believe you. And hung up on me, couldn't believe it. The 53rd phone call went like this. Hello? Hello, my name is Nick Vujicic. I'm a professional motivational speaker, and I was wondering if you'd like me to come and speak to your school about bullying, self-esteem, dreaming big, and never giving up. Okay. And I'm like, what do I do now? I had no idea what to say. I said, how long, you know, before you'd like me to come and speak? She said, how about next week? I said, okay. So I get my pen and I'm writing down the address, right?